Hello, my name is Patrick Alexander, and for the past 10 years I've been teaching wine appreciation classes here in South Florida, first at the University of Miami, then at Books and Books, and next door at the Coral Gables Museum. I'm also the author of The Book Lover's Guide to Wine, which combines my two loves, books and wine, all together between two covers. The last class that we finished at the museum was on Monday evening, March the 16th, and we decided that we would take a 2-week break and start the next classes, series of classes at the end of March. Well, then the pandemic came, so we decided that we'd give it a break, we'd wait for the pandemic to vanish, to disappear, and maybe wait a couple of extra weeks, maybe a month. And we decided we'd start our new classes sometime in April, maybe even early May. Well, here we are, late August, and I don't think any of us are keen to get together in a classroom with a group of strangers and drinking wine, or doing anything else for that matter. But the problem is, we still want to drink wine. So that's the conundrum. What to do? Zoom. The museum has decided that we will offer a series of 1-hour classes online using Zoom. Starting in early September, on a Wednesday evening for 1 hour, we'll be offering a series of 6 classes. The first class, number 1, will just give an overview of wine, the world of wine in general. We'll discuss general concepts such as terroir, varietal, and while we're talking about these big ideas, we'll be drinking a bottle of Brunello di Montalcino, which is my favourite wine from Tuscany. Class number 2 will focus on the history of wine, starting off with Noah and his first vineyard after leaving the Ark, and we'll discuss the Phoenicians, the Greeks, the Romans, the merry monks of medieval Europe, the spread of wine and vineyards around the world, and the effects of prohibition on America, and most importantly we'll discuss the 1976 Judgment of Paris, which had such a profound effect. And while we're talking about that, we'll be drinking a bottle of Stag's Leap, which was the wine that won the competition. Class number 3 will go and look at the great red wines of France. We'll start off going down the Rhone Valley, and then we'll cross the country to Bordeaux and examine the great chateaux. And while we're doing that, we'll be drinking a bottle of Châteauneuf du Pape. Class number 4 will continue with the exploration of the great reds of France, only this time we'll focus on the Burgundy, the Pinot Noirs from Burgundy. And while we're discussing Burgundy, we'll be drinking a bottle of Pinot Noir from Northern California. Class number 5 will be an examination of the most expensive, the most sought after, most valuable wines in the world. And while we're doing that, we'll be drinking a bottle of Amarone, sorry, elderly moment, Amarone del Valpolicella from northern Italy. And the final class, number 6, will focus on famous and legendary wines, each one of which will have its own story to tell. And while we're doing that, we'll be drinking a bottle of Primitivo from Puglia, the heel of the boot of Italy. The whole 6-week program will cost $90. And since most people will probably be watching with their spouse or with a hot date, then that really works out at $45 per head for the 6 weeks. Unfortunately, you will have to buy your own wine. As soon as you sign up for the class, we'll send you a list of the 6 wines to buy, and we'll also give you automatic instructions on using Zoom. And by the way, I'm in my 70s and I've managed to master Zoom. It really isn't that difficult, so not to worry. I want to make the class as interactive as possible so that you can, and this is, by the way, is Dylan. He's very interested in wine. Hopefully you can send me chats, and I'm always accessible by email. And at the end of each class, I will be sending you copies by email. I'll be sending you copies of all the PowerPoint slides that I've used throughout the evening. And so that you and your hot date can review the slides while you finish off drinking the bottle of wine, or maybe opening a new one. Anyway, in these times of gloom and doom and Zoom, I think it's very nice to be able to get together in the middle of the week. We deserve a break, with our friends, virtually or not, and share a glass of wine. So cheers.